welcome back to Backstage Pass Podcast, a CPCA advising podcast. Let's go. Woo, woo. I don't have air horns. If I did, that'd be kind of cool, though. I'm really excited, as always. This is the 16th episode where I'm just super excited. I wonder if there'll ever be an episode where I'm just not excited, where I just straight up come on, I'm like, this sucks. I don't know. Probably not anytime soon, but I'm super excited today. I think we have an awesome guest with us today. Today's guest is a sophomore theater major in directing concentration. She is also the STARS coordinator for Temple Theater's Side Stage, as well as a part of the program Temple Walk Her Home. This past fall, she stage managed with the Philadelphia Young Playwrights Festival and currently is co-producing the Ben Vargas Short Stuff Festival. We are so excited to have her. Maddie Haughwout, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And as always, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Sarah. How are you doing today?
I'm doing just swell, Ben. How are you?
I'm surviving is basically what it comes down to. It is what I like to call midterm month, because for me this semester, it's not like I have 1 week where it's all my midterms. They are all spread out throughout the entire month. So I had one this week. I have one next week. I have a paper that's my midterm due the following week, and then my last one is the last week of March. So I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm thinking of it as bad for now. It just seems like March is just not a good month. Yeah, March just doesn't seem like a good month for me or the world in general. So
it's March Madness, but
yeah,
college
like
academics and not college basketball.
Pretty much. But anyway, let's talk about Maddie, and let's talk with Maddie because we've got a lot to talk about. You're a theater major, so obviously you have participated in shows. You are what we like to call an actress, which is awesome. I'm curious, what is your favorite show that you've attended, but from Temple specifically?
Oh, man. Does it have to be in person or virtually?
It could be either.
Wow, expanding the options. I have to say Laramie, just because I have personal ties. So seeing it produced at Temple was something that, made my heart all fuzzy and warm.
Very cool. You got to love that feeling when you go to a show and your heart just gets fuzzy and warm.
Absolutely.
I can tell you I've been like that before. Man, when I saw Rent a couple years ago when they did a touring cycle and they came through Philadelphia, and seeing it finally just on stage, because I've always watched the movie and I actually ended up doing it in high school theater, but actually being able to see other people do it on stage was so captivating. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean when you mean that fuzzy, warm feeling. But now let's expand our horizons a bit. And what has your favorite show that you've attended been in Philadelphia?
So subtle flex. Last year I did end up winning that little Hamilton raffle. So
Ooh.
I did get to see it in person.
Wait, you did?
I did.
Oh my gosh.
I almost peed myself on the spot when I won, because I totally thought it was a scam. I totally, the button appears and they're like, oh, like click here to get your ticket. I'm like, nothing can go wrong. So I click the button. And then a week later I get an email and they're like, you're going to Hamilton. And I'm like, I'm going to, and I was like, oh, cool. Bet.
That's
and then
amazing.
I went to Hamilton.
Where was that performed at?
Walnut, I think.
Okay.
I think it was the Forest. Is that one?
Yes, that sounds vaguely familiar. And if I
think
through my memories enough, I can find.
Okay. And that was the third cast, if I recall. I don't remember. I just remember they did.
It was. Like, I don't know what number tour it was, but yeah. It was one of them.
It was pretty early on, I'm pretty sure, because they didn't really leave New York till 2016, 2017, 2018. I don't know. I'm bad with years. Just because I know they sold out like every show for the first 2 years of it, happening. So it was like insanely hard to get tickets even like farther out. So I'm assuming it would have been third cast at that point, but I don't know. I'm not a Hamilton whiz. I'll call up Lin-Manuel though. He'll get it sorted for me.
We're getting him on here. We're getting him on the podcast. He's coming.
Fun fact, he's actually next week's episode. Who would have known? That was crazy.
I mean, as long as he's not in the waiting room right now, because I don't think I can do that.
Yo, can we
let me admit him. Let me admit him.
Yeah, can we steal some of Jimmy Fallon's bits and just bring out celebrity guests for like our guests? Because that would be amazing if we could do that eventually.
The only condition is that you have to laugh at everything that they say.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You just have to,
or talk over them, but Sorry, I didn't say that. Anyway, Hamilton's great though. The thing with Hamilton for me is I always hated it. Like not because I didn't think the show was good. I had actually never seen the show, but when the original soundtrack came to Spotify in August of 2015. I'll never forget. It was like right before my high school classes started, and I listened to the full thing because I was like, wait, this sounds like that one guy that did that like rap poem thing at the White House in 2011, which I had watched back in 2011. So I was like, wait, this is kind of cool. Like, I can get down with this. And I listened to the whole thing that night, and I was like, wow, this was really cool. And then, like, it hit Broadway, and it blew up. And then everyone was talking about it, and all of a sudden, everyone ruined it for me because it was just like I couldn't get one breath out without someone else being like, but Hamilton! And it's just like, I know, I get it. It's inventive. It's really cool. I get it. So I never really had much of a excitement to watch it until this past summer when they released it on Disney Plus. Then I realized, now I get it. Now I get the rave for it.
I remember the first time I heard the soundtrack, and this is one of like my most embarrassing moments, but hearing the first song, I start crying out of nowhere, and I never cry that easily, but I'm hearing the song and I'm like, this is so good. And I'm like, why is my face wet?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so it's awesome. I would love to eventually get to see it on a stage someday if we ever get to do that again. So, yeah, for sure. So, as a Temple student, especially a theater student for that matter, obviously you got to rehearse like crazy, and I can understand that. Like that's a lot of commitment to be able to, memorize all your lines, make sure your interactions with anyone else on stage is like perfect. So, I always ask any theater majors that we interview, where's your go-to rehearsal spot? Like, where is your confines of where you can think and breathe and act without feeling weird and with giving it your all?
Would this be on campus?
Yeah.
Just anywhere on the 7th floor of Ritter.
That seems to be just super popular.
I want to like tuck away in there. I feel like you can just like bust up in there, open one of those doors, close it, turn on like one of the random lamps that are in there, and then just do your thing.
The lamps! Standing lamps. I can't with them.
The thing is, every theater major that we've had on to interview, they've always said Ritter 7th floor. And I'm just like, what does that mean? I don't know, because I'm not a theater. Like, what is so special about it? That's a question I want to know. What is so special about Ritter?
I don't know if it's the number 7. I don't know if it's them constantly changing the door code, but then someone writes it on the wall next to
you.
You can still punch yourself in.
That's awesome. I got to check it out. Once, like, campus is like fully open, I'm okay with just walking around. Like, I got
we'll do a virtual tour for the podcast of Ritter.
Oh my gosh,
floor.
Please. I would love to figure out why everyone loves it, I need to know. But nice. What are your thoughts on rehearsing outside? Is it like an invasion of space, or is it a way to get out and not be afraid of like, I guess, like, is it, if you rehearse outside, I would almost think of it as a way to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. What are your thoughts on it?
That's definitely one way to see it. I'm not the one acting most of the time, only if I'm really forced to do that. But I would get embarrassed very easily. I would feel like this is something, and this is not a hack to anyone who does rehearse outside. I kind of want my own space that's like closed off. I don't know if that's also an introvert thing where they're like, this is my space, this is my bubble, I'm safe here. And outside, you're just opening it up to every single danger you can automatically think of.
Right.
There could be squirrels. Just leave it at that. You don't know what they can do. You don't know what they carry.
That's true. That's like so true.
I
see a squirrel. Hold on, real quick. I see a squirrel in Philadelphia. That's a big
They're
sign.
Scary. They're bad
scary.
News. They are. We had I had an acting class last semester that we met outside once a week, and this one time we were just like we were on the terrace of Tomlinson, which is like that little like you walk up the steps of Tomlinson, just that little patch right there. And we were standing in a circle, and all of a sudden, like these acorns started like coming out of nowhere. We were like, "What's happening?" And I think the squirrels were like throwing them at us. They were like, "Get out of here, go home." And I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry I offended you with my acting."
It sounds like a coordinated attack. That was planned.
It really was. They were like, "Boo." It was like the tomatoes of Shakespeare's time.
Yo, squirrels just are smarter than we think. That's what it comes down to.
It's scary.
I can't think of it any other way, you know? Oof. So there you go. If you're watching this and you think, hey, rehearsing outside might be a good idea, beware of the squirrels.
that's not mentioning rats.
Forget about the people.
No, I'm good. We don't need to talk about the Philadelphia rats.
I love the rats. They're so
cute. No, as someone from New York, New York rats are a different breed. They're just small dogs.
I don't like that. I already think that with Philly rats, except I look at them and I'm like, that's a raccoon. Like, that's the size of a raccoon. You know?
I don't know if there's some... Like in my high school, there was a senior prank where they ended up releasing cockroaches in the basement, and then they ended up breeding together, and they created like a mutant cockroach. I don't know what happened with the rats, but
did you do that, Maddie? I think you did. You do.
Tell me, were you a part of that senior prank?
Who's this day? I think
who obtained the cockroaches and where did they get them?
I plead the fifth. This was before my time. My high school had a lot of really wrong stuff going on. Someone tried burning the word seniors into the hell, and they spelled it seniors.
Oh my God. People, if you're going to do something like that, do it right. Come on. Oh my God. No, don't even get me started with Philly rats though, because where I live, like in Philly for like off campus and whatever, there is this one part of the sidewalk where I guess something happened where like the two sidewalk pieces kind of went up like that. So there's a nice gaping hole in between. And I have seen the biggest, I was about to curse there. I've seen the biggest rats just emerge. And I'm just like, oh, like it gets me every time. I can't.
I don't even know what my reflex would be. Would I try and stomp on it? Would I run? Would I kick it? I feel like
stomp on it. I feel like it would bite you.
No, you go pet it. You go pick it up, pet it.
Here, boy.
Take it in as a pet. You know, it's not as dangerous. What the government doesn't want you to know is that the public rats and other animals out on the street are actually available to take home, and they want you to take them home.
Oh, adoption.
Adoption, exactly. I heard a joke where it's like the government doesn't want you to know that the ducks at the park are actually free to take home. I was like, that's not okay. Oh my gosh.
I feel like if I was in a very severe manic episode, I would try and put one in a car and just take off.
Imagine just having a duck. How cool would that be, though?
I love ducks.
Ducks are just so chill. Like,
oh my God, I love those. There's like videos on Instagram of like ducks and dogs being best friends. And I'm like, what?
That's amazing.
It's so cute. It's so cute.
It's so good. All right, let's get back on track. I realize that today is just going to be the day where I just talk about anything and everything. So I'm going to try my best to stay on track as much as I can with the questions. So one thing we ask a lot of Temple students, actually one thing we ask every Temple student that we have talked to is, you know, with your experience so far, this is your 4th semester, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so with it being your 4th semester, you've had a decent amount of experience at Temple, almost 50% of your 4-year program, unless you decide to do more, obviously. But like almost 50% of what a 4-year program would be. What has your favorite class been and why?
So it's actually still my very first semester here. One of the required theater courses is creativity just basics. And I ended up taking it with Siobhan Norris. And every single day I think about that woman and what a
I
beautiful
love Siobhan Norris.
the way that I could not have had a better class to like just introduce me to Temple, but also like set me up for theater, because it just opened your mind so much and it brought you out of your comfort zone. And like essentially the motto was just do what you need to do because this is theater.
Right.
Feel comfortable doing whatever you want. And she really just pushed that. It was like a really safe space. Anything you said, stay in the room. She was there as like an outlet. That class just mind blowing. And I made friends in that class as well, just connections and
That's awesome. That's really cool. I can't relate. I have not had a class like that yet. That's awesome though. That like, I think
You could take Creativity Basic. In my Creativity Basic class, there was a film major and like, I don't even know, a communications major. I was like, what are you doing here? They're like,
What
I
are
don't know, for fun.
what are you doing invading our space?
It was nice though. We got to meet some different people. It was great.
That is pretty awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have a couple elective spaces that I could fill up for sure, but who knows? Yeah. But I can't say I feel like with the experience that you just described to me, that's a good reason to just take that class. So I'll keep an eye out. Maybe if I have room, because who knows. But I forget where I was gonna go with that. Not gonna lie. So we're gonna skip over any thought I would have just had because it's just it's just been that day. It's
I feel
yeah. All right. It's been that week. I'm gonna put it out there. It's been that week. This week has been hecka busy.
been that month. Like
It's been that month. You know what?
February.
It's been that whole year. Like, it's just been a year, let me tell you.
Yeah, February collectively kicked my butt for several reasons. And I'm just starting to like pick up the pieces again. I'm like, wow, I have obligations.
Yeah. Yeah, it really has been that way, huh? It's just, this is like, from now until the end of the semester is like the trudging through the mud, kind of like just inching your way there every little bit. So
it's like digging myself out of the hole that I dug myself into the first couple weeks. I'm like, maybe I should have read that article.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do your homework, kids. Do your
homework. If you were watching this,
do your homework.
Don't make the mistake. It's not worth it.
Don't say I'll put it off. When you say that, you always put it off.
You do.
Oh, it's a shame. But you know what? We're vibing. Heck, we're doing a podcast episode right now. I'm vibing.
I'm vibing. The lights are on.
Yo, the lights do be kind of on. The lights are on behind me. I have more lights in my room than it may look like. It looks like I live in a cave, which I've gotten plenty of times. It's actually a lot lighter down here than people think. Like, it's dark, don't get me wrong, but it's not super dark. Like, you used to not be able to see that couch behind me. Like, it quite literally was like...
yeah, there is a couch now.
Yeah.
It's not just the abyss.
There's a couch. There's a fan.
Room tour.
Room tour. Let me pick up my desktop real quick and show you all around. Yeah, welcome back to my vlog, guys. On today's episode, I'll be drinking pickle juice while reciting the alphabet. Anyway. Yo, would you? All right, I'm starting a YouTube channel. Done. That's what it comes down to. Oh, my goodness. Here I go again, going off track. Anyway.
I'm sorry. I think that's just a quality that I have. I think I just make people...
Honestly,
I'm just everywhere right now, like mentally, where I just
I just derail people.
I think I do. I'm so bad at staying on track.
I don't think it's your fault though. I think it's really just me and trying to mentally be here, but I just feel like I'm having a conversation. It's like, wait, I have obligations to continue this and push this interview forward. So,
and I don't know if it's the inferiority complex popping out either. So I'm trying to like push it back into the box and be like, move on.
Right, exactly. So anyway, with where we were, what was it like stage managing for a Zoom festival?
So funny enough, that was my first time stage managing period. So I was absolutely just thrown into the abyss. Like I had no idea what I was doing. And it ended up being a really good experience because the director that I was working with was super sweet and kind of just led me through like what I need to do and like rehearsal reports, putting important information on, contacting your actors and scheduling, you know, the actual like Zoom meetings. And then later on, I ended up being bumped up to assistant director because I pulled my weight.
Hey, that's what we like to hear.
That was, you know, exhilarating to say the least. And further along the line, we kind of needed to use music in the show, but copyright laws exist. So, and we didn't want to.
Yes, they do.
Sued. So I casually mentioned that I was like, hey, I play the flute and I know how to improv. So if you want, I can like do a couple little ditties. And then I did.
Wait,
and
you play the flute?
I do.
Yo!
She gave us a private concert on Zoom the other night.
I hated every second of it.
Wait, how long have you been playing the flute for?
4th grade, so that would make it
Wow.
over 2 years.
That's awesome. That's sweet. See, for someone who's a musician, anytime I hear any sort of musical instrument, I'm like, I know what that is.
Today I've been talking about marching band a lot today. I was in marching band, concert band, jazz band.
Nice.
Just yeah. And being like the band theater hybrid kid, you'd think I'd turn out really horribly, but I'm hanging on.
Hey, that's what we like to hear.
It's still existing.
Let's go. So what's your favorite song to play on the flute?
Oh man. So
I'm expecting Jethro Tull and nothing else.
No.
Rats.
I simply can't tolerate that.
Really? Interesting. I feel like anyone that plays the flute, the first thing they go to is, oh, I know Jethro Tull. You want to see me play a song?
Everyone either assumes you say flute and everyone's like, oh, like Flight of the Bumblebee, the one that just goes, it's the run.
Oh, yeah.
I attempted that a couple times throughout my quote unquote career. And it's impossible. You can't, I can't even fathom how that was made in the first spot, let alone people play it.
Pure chaos and insanity.
What went through your mind to be like Bumblebee?
It's horrific. I think go to my first year in jazz, I was given a solo on a piece called Spain by Chick Corea. And that song just lives rent free in my head. And unfortunately, Chick Corea recently passed away and I held a little memorial. But that song is just perfection.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Dang, do you have your flute right now? Are we going to get a performance
I know,
now?
I was going to say, something I want you to learn, Maddie, is, have you heard so there's like a YouTube channel where they do like medieval versions of songs. Have you heard the Hips Don't Lie, Shakira? I thought of you like yesterday or something. I was like, that song came on YouTube or whatever, and I was like, oh, Maddie needs to play this. I need to hear Maddie play this.
I probably could learn it. I hate to admit that I do know that channel.
Yes, it's so good. It's so
awesome.
funny. It's
they
ridiculous.
Did Pump Up Kicks.
Yes!
That was so good for no reason. They did a couple covers from like random like anime shows that I've seen.
It's just everywhere.
So good for no reason.
That's awesome. Well, that's super cool. I mean, you gotta love a musician mixed with theater. That's super dope. I'm always about that. I'm always more impressed when an actor can play an actual instrument and like do it well. Because obviously, if you see a theater show or even just a movie or TV show, the thing that bugs me the most as a musician is watching them play the instrument and just being like, they're literally not doing it right. You can tell it's fake. Like they didn't even try to make it look right.
It's always the guitar.
It's always the guitar.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, the guitar.
Like,
I watch people, I'm like, I don't even know how to play the guitar, but I watch them go like.
I don't think that's it. I really don't.
I'm like, I don't.
That's not what that sounds like.
Nope.
I was
like
just
the
watching
strumming pattern is just like not even close to what you're hearing, and I'm like,
Yep.
Yeah,
I was literally just watching iCarly the other day. Actually, no, I've been watching iCarly every
What are
day
you
for the
talking about?
past
They
week.
absolutely play their own instruments on iCarly. That is the best TV show to ever be made.
It was Spencer was playing the banjo. And at first he was believable. The first time he picked up the banjo, I was like, "Wait, that actually kind of looks like he might be playing that right." Now let that be known, I don't play the banjo. Like I know how to play it, but I couldn't tell you how to shape chords on it. I could just probably figure out a diddle and go with it because I play guitar. So, any stringed instrument I can kind of pick up and just be like, "Oh, I can figure it out." It wasn't until this last episode that I saw where he was trying to impress a girl with the banjo, and he literally just had all 4 fingers sitting on top of the strings, and he was doing this with his hand. I was like, nope, come on.
You do better than that.
You can do better. Jerry Trainer.
Jerry.
I'm going to pay for a cameo just so I can tell him, yo, you did not play that banjo part.
We
right,
haven't.
brother.
Wait. He's in the waiting room. Should I admit?
Let him in. Let him. I want to give him a peace of mind.
If he had to do that cameo, that would be so sad. He's just, I'm sorry I couldn't play the banjo right.
Imagine. Oh my god.
I mean, it wouldn't be that bad. Don't they get paid to do this? You'd be like,
yeah.
Sorry.
It's like $5 for him saying I suck at banjo.
Honestly, I would pay $5 just to tell Jerry Trainer you didn't play that right, and I'm disappointed. I'm gonna look up his prices after we're done this episode. Imagine. Anyway, can you tell us a little bit about your experience with directing Side Stage?
Yeah. So, again, freshman year, I think I was very wide-eyed, like, wow, college. And I applied to Ben Vargas, not really expecting anything, because I'm like, first of all, this is like the first opportunity I found to direct ever at college. So I was like, I'm just going to go for it. I don't expect anything. And when I got chosen, I was like, oh, am I qualified? I think I'm qualified. So
there you go.
Going into that, we were just, given the show that we were going to direct, and then we were given a cast, and just kind of have to work with it. And you can't really take into consideration if you know these people, if you like them or if you don't like them. You just have to pick the piece up, read it, meet with your actors, rehearse, and run with it. And I had a lot of fun with it because I ended up doing a piece about 2 siblings that they're playing like the floor is lava. One of them breaks the lamp and they have to try not to tell their mom. And it did remind me a lot of like my own relationship with my sister. And I was the one getting in trouble most of the time. I would, like take candy off the top of the refrigerator and hide the wrappers behind the couch. And then my sister would find them and be like, I'm going to tell mom, and I'd be like, please don't. And then I do something for her. And then we just move on.
That's awesome. When you said the floor is lava, my mind just went psh, because I just went back in time when I would play that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That was, we ended up using, I think it was like a couple notebooks. We had a couple cushions and we just spaced them out along the stage. So then at one point they kind of like hop on, they have to like pretend to fall off, and we were able to use gels in the light to create like a red lighting and just little bubbly sound effects. So really immersive.
And this was happening last year, right?
Yes, it was fall.
Okay, so fall. So I was just about to ask, was it spring semester? Did you get interrupted, or it was fall? But it was fall, so that's really cool. So you were able to do this in person.
Yes, yeah. I did Ben Vargas in person, and then Nair Kapoor actually was halted, but then continued.
Okay, got it. That's awesome. With directing, what kind of, I guess, skills did you take away from, this experience?
I, as previously mentioned, I do have a slight inferiority complex. So feigning confidence is very important. Being able to go in front of a room of people, and even in high school, I had to, lead auditions or run rehearsals until the director got there. You have to just stand up in front of everyone and go, this is what we're going to do, and you're going to do it. In a nice way. You don't want to like boss them around, but
you got to yell at those suckers to get their, stuff together. And you're a drill sergeant. You want to beat them into the ground, making sure they know exactly what they're doing.
If I have to. I have done something similar before. My parents, I almost made someone cry, but
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
And that was terrifying for me because I didn't know. I don't get mad. I get like irritated, but I don't get mad. But some kid almost broke his arm, and I was yelling at the other kid that almost led to him breaking his arm. And then he's like, "I'm not gonna lie, that's the scariest I've ever seen you." And I'm like,
nice.
I was like, me? Hello?
That's awesome. When you first started directing, was it something that you kind of had to ease your way into to be like, hey guys, like we're gonna, because I know for me, I'm very bad with just telling a whole group of people what we're gonna do. Like I can do it, but it's gonna need like a good 5 minutes before of me just going like hyperventilating, just like I know what I'm gonna do. I got this. I got like pumping myself up, and then I do it. I'm just like, hey guys, we gotta do this. So I gotta know, like after time, I'm assuming it gets easier, right?
It's absolutely the same feeling as if you're ordering takeout and you prep yourself. You're just like, this is what I'm gonna get. This is the food I'm gonna get. I'm gonna ask how much it costs, when it's gonna be ready, and get out of there. And then you get up there and you're like, chicken, and they're like, oh,
just one chicken, please.
You're like, oh, I don't know where to go with this. It feels very satisfying, at least for me. The first time I was in front of a group of like over 30 people and I was like yelling, projecting, I guess. It feels incredible because you're like, wow, I'm really like taking the reins. And then the thoughts creep in and you're like, am I being annoying? Do people not like me because I'm yelling and I'm telling them what to do? I should just crawl in a hole and never speak again. You got to get that out of the way. It's going to happen, but pushing through that and then kind of holding on to the satisfying feelings of being like, wow, I'm really commanding a room and I feel confident and great about what I'm doing.
That's awesome. Yeah. See, just from personal experience, I know talking to a large group of people is definitely hard, especially if it's impromptu. So for example, a little bit of kind of inappropriate, but more like an innuendo that everyone in the room happened to take with them and I didn't mean. My girlfriend had flyers because they did this thing at my high school called Diva Dance, where they had a lot of like elementary school girls get up and like learn dance routines, and they would dance with actual dance teams and dance programs, stuff like that. Just like a fun little thing for girls and boys to get out there and just dance, basically. And she asked me, because at this point I was the president of my drama club, which I totally did not deserve because I was horrible at it. And she was like, since you're the president, would you mind taking these flyers and handing them out to the elementary girls that do the plays? Because at our high school, it wasn't like just our high school students. It was like we took middle schoolers and elementary kids and brought them in. Yeah, we tried just like going over the top and it was annoying. But it worked. Like it worked really well. It just got really crowded, which is why it was annoying. And I was going to do it at the end of rehearsal, but I forgot. And someone saw them. They're like, oh, what are these? As people were walking out of the auditorium. And I was like, oh, crap. So I jumped up on stage and I just yelled, everybody. And my brain froze for a second. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if you're a girl in grades K through 5, I have something for you. And everyone went, what? And instantly was just like, that's gross. Like, and I was like, no, that's not what and instantly someone came up that was older than me and they were just like, give me the flyers, I'll hand them out. And I was like, I'm sorry, and they give me the flyers. Okay. So I gave them the flyers, and that's why I can never command a large group of people, because something like that will happen to me.
I mean, that's why. Your heart was absolutely in the right place, but you did not do
butchered. Well. Yeah, I butchered what I had to say.
Kind of flopped.
I should have said, no, I'm not even going to try. It's too late.
No, go ahead.
No, it's too late. The time's already done. I don't want to live the memory again. If I had said, if you are kindergarten to 5th grade and you're a girl and you are interested in dancing, and no, all right, no, never mind, no. Are you sure? No, and you're interested in being a part of I'm just going to shut up. We're moving on.
Actually, Sarah, do we have a 3rd grader in the waiting room?
Yeah.
Let's get
redemption time. It's time. My life has been leading up to this moment. Oh, God. Oh, that was rough. That was really bad. It was not good at all for being an 18-year-old guy looking like a predator.
It's one thing if you're commanding people your age, but you're trying to command a 7-year-old.
It's so bad. It's so bad. And I got reamed from all my friends, like, dude, what are you trying to do with it? I was like, nothing! Stop! And like every time. Anyway, so that's just me explaining how I could never command a group of people because I would never be taken seriously ever again. Anyway, you mentioned the Ben Vargas, what was it, the film, or was it like a...
Ben Vargas short stuff. So it's a festival that Side Stage does every fall/winter for now.
So could you tell us a little bit about 2021 Ben Vargas Short Stuff Festival? Like, what's going on with it?
Yes, because I'm extremely excited about it. So me and lovely Miss Sarah here are co-producing. So what we have done is taken 6 original plays written by students here at Temple, and they're being produced by students, for students and parents and everyone. And all the actors are from Temple, the stage managers are from Temple, playwrights and dramaturgs are from Temple. And yeah, it's been 12-week process. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been about 12 weeks of just planning and then auditions and then just coordinating with the directors and kind of letting them take their teams and read their plays and rehearse. And yeah, it's been a long journey, but...
So I got to know, just because I know a little bit about Side Stage from Sarah, and if I'm correct, that is basically a student organization, right? So do you have any help from like any professors, teachers, or is this all being done under students' terms?
I would say for the majority, it's under students. For the broadcast this weekend, we are using the Temple Theater's YouTube, but everything that we've done with this festival has been with students.
That's amazing. How long have you been, or how long has this Short Stuff Festival been going on?
I believe 2018 was the first year.
Wow. Okay.
I think that was the first year that they renamed it, or
correct.
Yeah, I think that it's in honor of Ben Vargas, who was a past board member from Side Stage, and yeah, we named it after him. And I think before that,
I think
I don't know,
just called
couple years.
Stuff,
yeah, before that it was just called Short Stuff, and it was just running for a couple years, and then we named it in honor of our late great friend.
That's awesome.
But,
that's really nice. That's very cool. So what kind of shows can we expect?
Okay. A lot of them take place on the subway. That's the running theme for this year.
All right.
We got comedies. We got, depressing ones if you're into that kind of stuff. We got angst. We got,
lots of angst.
I literally fit into all of those.
I was going to say enemies to lovers next, but I don't know about that one.
I'm intrigued. I can't say I fit into it.
All right, the Wattpad was popping out.
That's awesome, though. That's so you have a little bit of everything to display with just a student-based organization, which is really, really cool. I don't think people appreciate that enough. That it is a student-run organization.
Yeah, it's honestly, I think it's really cool just having students come together and kind of. And in a way, it's like standing on their own ground and being like, yes, we have Temple Theaters established, but we also have this. So if we want to place for students, by students, it's a little community.
Yeah. And I bet that provides a lot of freedom for the students involved. Yeah. That's awesome. That's really cool. So for anyone watching, get ready for the Ben Vargas Short Stuff Festival 2021. It's coming at you. It's going to be super dope.
It's this weekend.
This weekend. Get it together, people. What are you doing with your lives? Get it together. It is happening, and it is live. Is it live?
Yes. Live on Zoom.
It is live. Okay, I wanted to make sure that it was live. It is live, people. Like, it is the great part of being a Temple Theater student. And if you're not a theater student, what are you doing with your lives? Go check out Ben Vargas Short Stuff Festival. It's going to be sick. I can't wait. And I know, Sarah, and I know Maddie, and they cannot wait.
No, sir. No,
So
sir.
people,
We cannot.
can you tell the people how can they do they buy tickets, or is it something they just click a link
It's
and they?
free. It's free.
Yes,
So we
yes.
have I could put the link when we post the video, but we have a little Google form that you fill out and you say, I want to come to this night. Please send me a link. Here's my email. And then we will send you the link to the live stream on either Saturday or Sunday or both if you want to come to both.
There you go, people. Support your local theaters. It is going to be awesome. Seriously, we cannot wait here at Backstage Pass. We cannot wait here at CPCA Advising. So all of you, Temple, should not be able to wait because it is exciting. I'm quivering right now. Seriously, I cannot wait.
I mean,
All
shaking
right.
your boots, but
I did a little too much.
maybe just a tad.
All right, just a little bit. All right, I'll reel it back.
It's a tad too much hype. Just a little.
Well, lower, simmer down.
Take a sip of water for yeah, I mean, seriously, click the link in our social media's bios. We'll have the link there for people to fill out the Google form. It's going to be super, super cool. With that said, I think it's time that we finish this interview off with a game.
Oh no!
Oh, a game. That's right. It's a simple game. It's
Has
not.
anyone ever gone? Yes, a game. Wow, I'm excited. Or does everyone go? Oh no!
Yeah, I don't know. I usually get excited when I hear there's a game.
I get nervous because this is just another opportunity for me to say something weird.
Well, see, I grew up in a very competitive family, and I'm the youngest of 5. So every time I hear a game, I'm just like, let's go! So it's exciting times. Although I'm not participating in the game. So anyway, the game is super simple. We quite literally are just doing a simple game that is called This or That, or as some people know it as Coke or Pepsi. But we're doing a temple edition of it. So we're going to give you a whole bunch of things that you have to choose between. You can explain if you want, but you only have 1 minute to answer all of them. Sarah, how many would you say there are?
Maybe 15, maybe less. I don't know. Counting. I'm like
15.
I'm like, that looks about maybe 15. I don't know.
Fine.
Basically,
yeah.
Probably less. I don't know.
Everyone,
Math is not my strong suit.
4 seconds per question.
I'm sorry, what?
4 seconds per question.
Oh, yeah, because 15.
Oh, she said division.
I didn't know what she said at first, and I was like, are you speaking gibberish at me right
I could. I took Latin in high school.
now? Yo, Latin's really cool. I wish I took Latin.
It was a nerd thing. No, you can't. You can't look at me, say you took Latin and not be a nerd. Like,
I mean, you can't look at me and I could say, I love all Star Wars films and I love everything with stars. And then you can't look at me and be like, you're not a nerd. You're just still
okay, but as a nerd, I have to agree. I can't, I can't be like, no.
We're all nerds in our own way. How about that? Boom.
Fair enough.
Drinking more water for that. Yeah, so I have 1 minute up. Sarah is going to be the one asking the questions. So like you said, 4 seconds per choice. You think you can do it?
Absolutely.
All right. I like the confidence. Let's go. All right.
Winning confidence.
Let's go. I have a timer up. When it is over, you will hear By the Seaside, which is a phenomenal Apple ringtone that is provided with any Apple iPhone or iPod Touch or iPad. It is phenomenal.
I love it. I know.
I'm not sponsored
by Apple.
I'm not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. I just love the song. Anyway, are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
3, 2, 1, go.
Saxby's or Richie's?
Richie's.
Sack or food truck?
Food truck.
Ritter or Rehearsal Hall?
Ritter.
Wawa or 7-Eleven?
Wawa.
Stage managing or directing?
Directing.
Charles or Paley?
Charles.
Monologue or scene?
Scene.
Tomlinson or Randall?
Randall.
Directing a play or a musical?
Play. Oh my God.
J or H?
J.
Film or theater?
Theater.
Short or full-length plays?
Full length.
Drama or comedy?
Comedy.
Marching band or concert band?
Concert.
Oh
Sarah
my gosh.
Oh wait, I have
Was that
one
it?
more.
Oh,
I have one more. Sarah or Danny? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I can't answer that one. No.
I always have to throw like a terrible one in there. I'm just kidding.
that's awesome.
I got so nervous
good.
because I almost said something. I'm like, wait, that's not a question I can say.
I'm going to count that as she got every single one because that was incredible. You flew through them.
I had to throw her off because she was doing so well.
I'm mad at myself for hesitating on the marching band and concert band one. I stick with my answer, but that one made me think.
We usually have one or two that trips people up. I mean,
like
we had an episode that I'll always say this. We had an episode where straight up, it was this guy in a band, and we literally like, it could be hard, and he was just like, oh, like I'm just picking between two things. The very first thing that we asked him was like, his two bandmates were Bobby and Damien, and we were like, Bobby or Damien. And he was literally like, what? And we were like, answer the question. He's like, I can't.
These are people.
Yeah, so we always got to throw people off.
I had to throw that one in there for
just
you.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
No.
I was like, she just won. We gotta sprinkle a little spice.
Stay mad.
There you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes another episode of Backstage Pass. Maddie, I would like to thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
I have had so much fun. I'm going to have smile lines.
Awesome. That's what we like to hear. Awesome. As always, I would like to thank Sarah. Without her, we would not be able to do any of this because she really is the backbone of everything that we do. So, Sarah, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Loved it. Such a great episode.
Good times. All right. If you want to stay up to date with anything CPCA advising related or Backstage Pass, go ahead and follow us on our social medias. We are at CPCA_advising. Anything you need at all, you can always contact us. We will always be around. Anyway, it's almost Friday, or actually at this point it is Friday. So let's go and enjoy your weekends. It's going to be a great time. Happy March. I'm hesitant to say that, but welcome to March. And you know what? We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in.